Welcome to blaxRADIO by blaxTARLINES, where we discuss art, curating, and everything in between. This is the Art Talk segment, bringing you authentic conversations from within the art world. In today's episode, we bring you the part 2 of the conversation between Dr. Kwasi Ohene-Ayeh, IUB, and Professor Ablade Glover. Let's continue from where we left off.
So, Aaron Zweig published a book.
Aaron Zweig.
Yes, titled.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm wondering because in
I have a copy. I have, it's a difficult book.
Hidden.
It's a difficult. Yes, hidden something.
Order of art, and in a section of it, he has he titled a section of it "Order in Chaos."
Oh, okay.
But he was looking more at hidden.
Did you understand the book? When you read it.
Well, I will. What I want to ask is, how does that relate? Like, because you have a similar line with your order in disorder body of work.
Orderly disorderly.
Yeah. So since he has taught you, and now we're building to our theme, orderly disorderly. So how do these rub into each other?
I must tell you, I have the book. Every time I started reading it, and then I put it away because it's not an interesting book. It's too technical and psychological, like a psychoanalysis kind of thing. And therefore, I never enjoyed the book. I never finished the book. It's still in my bookshelf. Yes.
So I'll come to your work in a minute, your technique, how you use paint, and I hope we're not.
Oh, sure. Let's go ahead. Yes, let's go ahead.
But I want to ask about the La community that you were born to.
Yes,
born is where I come from. The community of artists that have come out.
It's
so
amazing.
We can have my significant artists like Amonkote, Atoko, the Palanquin and Coffin, yes. Fantasy coffee maker.
Yes.
Curator,
Curator, yes.
Who was your contemporary?
Curator, no. I met Curator when I came to do the gallery.
Okay. And then Seth Clotte, who may have been a protege, right? And his son.
Oh yes, Curator. I'm missing Curator with Seth Clotte. Yes.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Curator was like my my contemporary. Yes.
Yeah.
But Seth Clotte is a later day saint person.
Yes. So we can talk about even like in our time, Serge Atukwe Clotte, who's one of the
following the
So did any of these artists, earlier generation, your contemporaries, inspire you, their works? Amonkote, for example.
No, I didn't. I didn't know Amonkote much. In those days, the person who inspired me, who did some influence, was rather Sakakwe. Yes, I liked his
elongated
women, like people standing properly, and his drummers, you can feel the drum, No, I like Sakakwe was my number one. Later on, I met Vincent Kofi too. It's amazing that these are not sculptors, but they rather inspired me. I like the vigor of Kobina Bakana. He was painting like churning them out. So yes, Sakakwe was my number one.
Could you tell us a bit about your commission for the Chicago International Airport? I think it's one of the
things
busiest airports. How
I got in there.
Yeah. And is it still there?
It's still there.
Okay.
Usually I meet people and they say, we saw your work at O'Hare International Airport. And I say, oh, yeah. But it's, I must say, sometimes luck must come your way. Sometimes some good things happen to you. You cannot even explain it. Whilst I was working at Tech and exhibiting, and I think when I came here, I returned, I had met a young American girl who was the cultural attaché. And this request came through her. Apparently, what happened was this, that they had finished her international airport, and they were looking for decorative material, art to be precise, to cover the place. They had large, beautiful walls. And they had sister cities. Chicago has sister cities. Accra is one. And they had 12 sister cities. So they requested the sister cities to present an artist who would paint them a picture, a painting, who would give them a painting. And this lady, Miss Davis or somebody, I've forgotten her name, but she arbitrarily, I think, she decided that I should be the one who should go. So she called me to the embassy, and I went there, and she discussed with me if I had the time. It's going to take something like 2-3 weeks to be away. And of course, I had the time. So I accepted the offer, and we went to Chicago. And I met 11 other artists from around the world, from Shanghai, from China, from here and there. But it was a good mix, a very good mix. There are 2 ladies in the gathering. And they took us, the first week, they took us around just eating and drinking in Chicago. They took us to every restaurant in the city. The Lebanese restaurant, the Mexican restaurant, this restaurant. We ate in every restaurant. And we drank in every restaurant. And when we finished, we thought it was all over. And when we finished, they gathered us and told us, okay, now you have seen Chicago. Paint your impression of Chicago. That was something. So they took us to a big place, divided, cut up. And they gave each of us a studio. Then they took us to an art store and said, pick any material you want, anything you want for your work, which is what we did. We took lots of material. Some people really filled their bags. Well, it's free. So we took the materials, and they gave us 1 week to paint your impression of Chicago. And that was sitting down to think, what's my impression of Chicago? When we were going around, one thing that was obvious for me was simply that it's a melting pot that is not melting. I saw a city that's supposed to be a melting pot, but it wasn't melting. It wasn't mixing. The Mexican area, the African area, the Peruvian area, it's like a tapestry. Chicago is a tapestry. Oh, that's what I saw. So I said, okay, I'm going to paint them the tapestry, the ethnic tapestry. That's what I called my painting, the Chicago ethnic tapestry. So I painted just a tapestry with different colors, different places, different blah, blah, blah. And I think they like it. So the night they were going to mount this, they mounted them there, and we were taken there. There was a big, that night there was a big opening, and then a lot of still more drinking, and then we were introduced to our work hanging. I saw my work hanging on one of the walls, and I was happy, I was pleased. But since then, I've never been through that place again. And people come to tell me, hey, I saw your work in Chicago. It's a landmark for my work. It's a landmark. I'm pleased I was given that opportunity.
Could you please share some of your experiences with having interacted with commercial galleries or museums or curators? For example, how did October Gallery, come to represent you?
It's October Gallery scenario is it's a good one. It's helped me. They've really done a good job. They've done a good job for my work. They've taken me to places, yes. Actually, there was a British Council officer working with the British Council in Kumasi who liked my work, a lady. She liked my work. And she suggested the idea of getting me to London to exhibit at the Africa Center. So I first was invited by the Africa Center to exhibit there. And I exhibited in London that second, Covent Garden or place like that. And I exhibited there. It wasn't much of an exhibition. The exhibition room wasn't even particularly suitable, I must say. But it was a first step into London. That was my real first exhibition, one-person exhibition in London. The Commonwealth Institute saw it, the exhibition, and they liked it. Or I think they liked it because they invited me again to come the following year to exhibit at the Commonwealth Institute. That was. So I came to do a good work. I seen London, seeing the walls and everything. So yes. So I prepared well and I exhibited in London. But again, it was a failure. I was hoping to make a lot of money. You think of money when you are young. I think a lot of money. But I didn't sell much. I must have sold a couple of paintings. So I was disappointed. But after the show, that's when I met Chile. October Gallery. Chile came to see the exhibition. She said, you are closing next week. Where do you take all these paintings? And I said, maybe I'll take them back to Ghana. He said, do you mind if we keep them here at our gallery? We have just opened the small place. And I said, okay, well, I'll look at the place. So she invited me to the October Gallery. It was then a very small place. They're still doing it, the place. And that's how I got to the October Gallery. And they had been very, very good. I've had contact or association working with some few galleries around the world. And I think there are real sharks in the water. If you enter the art world, there are sharks in the water. One has to be very careful. If I tell my experience in that area, there was somebody who came and said, he lives in Laguna Beach. I'm going to exhibit all your work in Laguna Beach. And, when you are young, you want to go places. And, yeah. How many paintings? 25 paintings. He took it to Laguna Beach. I never saw him again. And then, apparently, maybe a couple of years, he died. But apparently, later, my work surfaced in some place. So people told me, hey, your work is selling there. Some woman is selling your work there. And I tried to get people to contact and make the contact. And she said that's her inheritance. Her father left the paintings for her, and she wouldn't listen to me. Now, it means I had to hire a lawyer or go through all the legal things to get my work back. I never got a single one back. Yeah, that is how the exhibition world, the art world is out there. I've had a few. So when I was studying in Columbus, a lady also came to me wanting exhibits and everything. In fact, even my Nkente I gave to her. She was going to open an exhibition in California, someplace, and she said, she painted a nice picture. So I gave her my Nkente to go and exhibit. We call it. She was fighting for a name for a gallery, and I gave her the name. Call it Domi Abra. So. So she went with all my paintings. I never saw her again. The last time I saw her, she was in Ghana. She came to the gallery. Hey, Sandra. So there are real sharks in the art world. There are real sharks, and you've got to be careful.
Yeah.
God be careful.
Maybe one more question, and then we can open up the floor.
Now that we are going to open up, okay.
Yeah. But I want to ask about how you paint, your attitude to painting. One of the things we have noticed is for you, painting is not just about the picture. For example, in the crowd scenes that, and for those who are here, if you haven't seen it yet, Professor Glover's paintings are to my right on the wall. There are 2 works. So when you seek to expediently render what you call faceless masses, right? In your
faceless faces.
Okay, in your paintings, and the way you are treating the oil pigment itself, right? And its character, how it's behaving on the canvas itself. So it's not just about the representation of a thing that you have seen, but it's also about the materiality of the pigment. Could you tell us a bit more about your process? Why that? Why not? Why the palette knife? Where it came from? Things like that.
The palette knife came in when I was at the University of Newcastle, and I was on teaching practice, and I met an art teacher there in the school. I had then gone just on teaching practice myself, and I met this artist who was using, and he just casually mentioned that, hey, the way you paint, you could do better with the palette knife. And he showed me his palette knives that he has collected. And then I started, it was trying. What I found rather laborious was the painting with the brush. You have to clean the brush and then quickly. And the way I want my work to go quickly, the two don't go together. The two going quickly together, it doesn't gel. So when I took the palette knife, it seemed to solve the problem. You put the color there, you clean the knife immediately. It's like you wipe it immediately. The other thing is that what you put there, it registers your feeling, your immediate now feeling. You put it there, and if it's not right, you just scrape it off. It's so spontaneous. It registers your feeling, and that's the way I feel when I'm working. Yes, no, yes, no. And it's like getting what you want on the canvas. Besides, I try to create things that has an element of accident. I paint, when I'm painting, particularly that if painting that crowd thing. I paint a crowd. Then I paint a crowd on it. And some of the colors seem to seep through. That's accident. I didn't plan that. But I want the colors to seep through. But what color seeps through, it's not my making. You get it? As a lot of accidents happen. I allow that kind of accidents to happen. And it is the final thing that shows, it's not the crowd, it's the tempo, the movement. So that you don't see, when you look at the crowd, you don't see anything really. You don't see a people. You don't see well-drawn human figures like you are sitting. But it's just creating some hazy thing as if it's a movement. So it's a movement, the tempo I try to capture. And like I said, a lot of accidents happen. So it's not all me.
And hence order in disorder.
You call it disorderly orderly.
Hence orderly disorderly.
Yes.
But I'll steal one more question, please. Finally, can we learn about the Artists Alliance? First, in the spirit that you wanted to, of mobilizing artists, and then the current manifestation of it as a gallery. So if we could distinguish between those two, how it started and how it eventually became what we see now in La.
When I was hinted that I would be going to retirement, it's quite a traumatic thing to be told that, hey, next year you are going. So, but I sat with my wife and thought, hey, what plan? What do we do? Either. And I said, one pharmacy man who was the Pro Vice Chancellor, he called me and said, no, Prof, don't go. We can keep you. You can stay. I said, no. Anyway, I'm thinking about the matter with my wife. And my wife was of the view that we should leave tech.
Which is KNUST, Kwame Nkrumah University.
And I also fancy that. So we thought, okay, if we leave tech, what are we going to do? Now, I was going to continue with my work as a painter, and I wasn't going to seek anybody's employment. That was number one. So if you are able to paint, where do you sell it? And that's when the idea of having a gallery came in. We had attempted another one with this girl, Morton. What's her name now? That Morton girl. Huh? Zuli. That girl, Zuli. Yes, we attempted to open a gallery together. We pushed in some money. Her father gave us a building at Nima somewhere, a very beautiful building. And we cleaned it up. We did everything that must be done. And suddenly, the first school came. It hit us bad. She sang all her money, I've sung her money, and we were told her father wanted to lie low because of the political atmosphere then. In those days, they could arrest you, and you wouldn't come back. So nobody wants to show himself. So that's how the money sank. Anyhow, with the Artists Alliance, I called the artists. I'm sure some here might remember. I called almost all the artists in Ghana to Kumasi. This is an idea. Shall we be? Everybody says, yeah. It's a great idea. Wow, it's a great idea. We join. We'll be with you. So they saddled me with the idea of getting everything registered. And I did. Me and my wife, we did. We registered. We got a lawyer who did all the paperwork. We did everything. We registered a proper company called the Artists Alliance. So we got the land, everything. So we said, okay, let us come together. Where are your contributions? Let everybody bring his contribution. That's when everybody started going back. Artists are strange animals. So we couldn't do any other thing but to continue. My wife said, okay, let's go forward. So that's how we went forward, without the artist. In fact, there was a lady in town from Germany called, what's her name? Rosemary Booz. She wanted to bring in money. She was going to bring a German lady. She wanted to bring us money to help us. But because the others went, it became a private thing, and she was not interested in private things. So that's how it.
And this is in the building, Omanye House.
Yes.
And
Nkrumah.
yes. So your mother.
My mother is called Omanyeyo.
Omanyeyo.
Victory woman.
Yeah.
And she's victory all the time. And whenever I go with that victory name, I succeed. So I go with my mother's name.
Shall we give a round of applause, please, for... there's more. We can go on for another 2 hours. But please, I would like to say that this is how Orderly Disorderly closes. So today is the last day we are opening. And so, it has been a good time. Yes, so we'll be back.
Catch us next week at the same time on blaxRADIO by blaxTARLINES for another exciting episode. This is the Art Talk segment where we bring you authentic conversations from within the art world. Till our next session, stay with the work.